Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a whole new episode of Full Steam Ahead. I'm your host, Zoe, with my co-host on the other side, Cantu. What's going on, my man?
Not much, just pretty much chilling. How about you?
Same thing, chilling. Obviously, we're getting ready for the weekend as it is Thursday, June 20th, as the day we are recording this. But the weekend series of the Baltimore Orioles, they'll be coming into town to Minute Maid Park, and then the Astros will have that off day on Monday, and then they'll play a two-game series against the Colorado Rockies, which should be really interesting to see how they play since back from that Mexico series. But episode 189, Astros ironed the White Sox, courtesy of the title, Mr. Cantu. They ironed the White Sox. Honestly, this series, it could have gone either way. It almost looked like the Astros were going to have, I would say, a disappointing series.
Sure.
But then they came back in that last couple innings in game 3 and were able to take it and get a winning series and a happy flight to Houston.
Yeah, it was that last game, anybody's ball game, an ugly win for the Astros, but it's a win either way, and I'm sure they'll take it however they come.
Definitely, Josh was on here too. Hey guys, how's it going, Josh? But agenda for today, Astros Roundup. Willie Mays, of course, passing away at the age of 93. We'll talk about him in the beginning of our show before we get everything out the way. We'll recap that White Sox series. Justin Verlander hits the IL from retrospective, I want to say on Saturday, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about him. Jake Bloss getting that call up. Who's invited to the Carne Asada? Pitching preview against the O's. News from the train station and around the horn, as today is an important day of baseball, which right now we'll start off with that Willie Mays passing away at the age of 93. Lived a great life. 2-time MVP, 1951 Rookie of the Year, 24-time All-Star, 12-time Gold Glove winner, 2-time All-Star Game MVP, 1954 World Series champion, 54 batting title as well, served during the Korean War, and it was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. When you hear the name Willie Mays, Angel, what one word comes to mind when they talk about the Say Hey Kid?
Legendary, greatness, like all those positive affirmations you could think of. It's just an astonishing career, an astonishing person, and it's a big loss for the baseball community.
Yeah, that Rick Wood field game, which is happening today on Fox, I want to say it's the St. Louis Cardinals versus the San Francisco Giants. It was going to be in honor of Willie Mays because that's when he first started playing baseball with the Birmingham Black Barons over there down in Alabama. So I thought that would have been great for him to see. He did release a statement before that game, just letting everybody know he wasn't able to make it. And then next thing you know, the next day comes and the whole baseball world, like you said, it's a shock to them. It's very heartbreaking to hear a guy like this. I would say a pioneer as well for the game of baseball, being able to go through that time of baseball, like where Jackie Robinson, Hank Aaron's, and all of them had to go through. And the way he played the game, I mean, he was one of the best. I would say he was one of the first 5-tool players you can say. I mean, he can hit for power. He played incredible defense. Obviously, again, the 12-time Gold Gloves, speed. I mean, everything about this guy was really great. 600, I want to say 660 home runs. I don't have the stat right in front of me, but playing at Candlestick Park, if he wasn't playing there, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy has 700 home runs with Aaron, Ruth, Bonds, and Pujols.
Yeah, batted 301 in his career. You're right, 660 home runs, and at 1,909 RBIs, almost 340 stolen bases. So overall, great player.
Great player, great career. He was always around the Giants organization. I'm pretty sure Dusty Baker, that one's a hard one for him. Reggie Jackson, of course, having some ties with Willie Mays as well. But big loss for the baseball world. But the Giants will wear a commemorative patch on their chests that has 24 Mays commemorating the season to Willie. And this one's a hard one for the baseball world, like I said. And condolences to the Mays family from Full Steam Ahead.
Yeah.
But Astros Roundup, let's start out with that 35-40 record for the Astros, a 2-1 stint against the Chicago White Sox. But Angel, before we get started and before you give us that recap, let us know where the audience can follow us.
Yeah, so just same thing as always. We're on X, Instagram, TikTok, Lorenzo's been doing a really good job putting some videos there, so go check those out. Also those Instagram reels. I think we have one over. I think one did really good. It's almost like over 3,000
Almost.
likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and then it's been seen by lots and lots of people. So go ahead and check those out. Also, if you missed this episode or you want to hear us again or you want to catch up on something you might have missed, we're on Spotify podcast and Apple Podcasts as well. So we are there. We are everywhere. But go ahead and get started on this recap with the White Sox. And it seems that the Astros, like when it comes to game one, they kind of sort of struggle a little bit. And they had Framber Valdez on the mound. So usually when you have Framber Valdez, I'm sure the Astros are pretty confident that they're gonna have a good outing, they're gonna have a chance to win. But I think he kind of lost it towards the end. Started off really good, but then Framber Valdez gave up 5 walks. The home plate umpire early in the game also took a bat away from Jose Altuve with a runner on second with a runner on the second and 2 outs. Um, it was I think that's the most frustrated Jose Altuve I've seen it. I mean, maybe in his career, right? I was gonna say a long
Yeah.
time, but maybe like, ever, right? Obviously, very displeased with the call. And then the next at bat for the opposing team, one that's a strike, is ruled the ball, and it's just kind of like
Yeah.
very inconsistent. Joe Espada was thrown out the game. Uh, it's it was a crazy first game, you could say, but kind of Framber Valdez kind of losing it on the mound, like losing his command, the command of his sinker, really put a tough one for the Astros because you had Garrett Crochet coming like the next day, and you have Flexen the following day after that. But shout out to that rookie pitcher for the White Sox. Pitched a great game.
Yeah.
Almost through the whole game. I think 8 2/3. I would say
Hmm.
really had the Astros on toes. But the Astros again still had a chance to win. Astros out hit the White Sox 7-2. The Astros were runners in scoring position 0 for 5, and then left on base 7. So again, winnable game. They just did not take advantage of that situation, right? Of a rookie pitcher runners on base. I understand you had the umpire with a crazy strike zone, but those are games you definitely need to take advantage of.
Yeah. Especially getting that out hit 7-2, dude. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, Framber Valdez did generate a lot of weak contact, but the umpire's strike zone was inconsistent. You can't blame him, like you said. Valdez though was just missing the strike zone. If you look at the at his pitch map, it wasn't that far off the zone. It was just literally just a little bit outside, just a little bit in on certain players. But the last time I was real quick checking it out, last time Jose Altuve was ejected, you got to go back to 2016.
Oh wow.
8 years ago was the last time Jose Altuve was ejected from a ball game.
I don't even think he's that. If you would have told me he got ejected, I wouldn't think I would have been accurate. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I never thought it'd be all the way to 2016 though. I'm like, damn.
I have to go back in the little highlight room and see why he was ejected. What happened?
I think it was against the Texas Rangers. I don't have the video on me, but it was against the Rangers.
Of course. Very, very not brutal series, but very emotional series there. But Hunter Brown was kind of like the little savior for the Astros the next game. He might have earned a nickname as Mr. Quality Start after that outing because he's been really good. After he developed a sinker pitch that he hadn't thrown
Mhm.
since college, he's been a different person. 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, an earned run, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Now, I know the sinker has been a pretty big pitch, but I would say his command. He finally found his command
Mhm.
on all his pitches. Again, that 0 walks in 6 innings. That was usually never the case for Hunter Brown. He would average about 3-2 walks a game, sometimes even 4 or 5. So finding that command, yes, the sinker works. Like kind of like gets the hitters thinking about a different pitch, a different angle, different falling, the breaking of the pitch, but finding his command has been very crucial in these quality starts. 89 pitches and 61 strikes. That's dominant right there.
That's phenomenal, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. He only gave up one. He only made one mistake, and I was giving up a solo home run to Andrew Benintendi. But I mean, we can't be perfect on the mound, and sometimes just make one mistake. But overall, really, really great outing. At six straight quality starts for Hunter Brown. In that span, he's 3-0 with a 1.44 ERA, total of 4 earned runs, and an opponent batting average of 207, which is again phenomenal there. And this game was also the Hunter Brown game, but it was also the Cesar Salazar game, the pride of Hermosillo, Mexico to the rescue. Honestly, because
Mhm.
he was, I'm sure he just caught the bullpen for the Astros pregame. I'm sure he wasn't ready to be in because you had Yanier Diaz DHing, Carantini catching, and the crazy part, and the reason why they brought up Cesar Salazar and the reason why the Astros carried three catches because perfect time like this, right? An unfortunate injury to Victor Carantini as he slid at home. He only had one guy, Cesar Salazar. I wouldn't even want to think. I don't even know who the emergency catcher is.
Hey, this is the situation that Mauricio Dubon's been waiting for, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I'm sure he's like, Coach, I have it right here, and like the little flight
I
flash in the catcher's mitt.
the goat patch right here with the Rawlings on it.
Absolutely, and I think, and you know what, I, I wouldn't be surprised if he does have one. But Cesar Salazar steps up and was crazy. But before we get into what game he had, Guaranteed was diagnosed with a left leg leg discomfort. So he was out the game. Brought in Cesar Salazar in the third inning, 2 for 2, two RBIs with a sac bunt. Then they got an insurance run as well. So came in clutch. I think he was really helpful and kind of responsible for that win in that game 2 series. So two unsung heroes there in Cesar Salazar and Hunter Brown. And then the third game was an ugly both sides around. On like if you want to call it, White Sox took an early lead. Looks like they were going to hang out to it, and then the seventh inning came around. Hit base hits by Jordan Alvarez and Jose Altuve kind of tied the game, and then a walk and an error, but it was an error first. It was a tough play at third. He was out, but who plays first base? Andrew Vaughn.
Andrew Vaughn.
Vaughn couldn't hold on to it. Honestly, in that situation, you have to catch that one. It was I think he stretched a little too far. He was anticipating the bounce. What I think is he was trying to beat the bounce by stretching, like under the bounce, and just caught him in between. Couldn't hand the ball, but it was crazy because the play before that, it was a fielder's choice.
Yeah.
Because same thing, try to beat the bounce, couldn't hold on to it. Bases loaded. The pitcher walks, another runner. Astros took a 5-3 lead. Didn't give up the lead, but Spencer Rigetti again pitched. I would say he wasn't supposed to pitch today. Came out again. Struggled with command a little bit. 4 walks. Wasn't pretty. His final stat line, if I can put it up right here, unless you have it.
I think it was 4 1/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, you're correct on it. 4 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. Yeah, ZRA 6.36. Wow, all right.
Little Shooter McGavin right there.
Exactly. That's impressive right there. That's impressive. But yeah, it wasn't pretty. But Astros did get the series win. You got to take it a series at a time. I guess they can leave happy as they await Baltimore.
Yeah, that series is going to be very tough for the Astros, but like you have to give Hunter Brown his flowers against 2 AL, I would say Cy Young candidates. I would say Garrett Crochet right now is the top 5 in the Cy Young Award voting. Tariq Screwball is going to be obviously the number 1, number 2 guy in the voting right now. But to pitch against those type of pitchers on the other side and come out with the win in both games, that is pretty impressive. That is very impressive from Hunter Brown. I know I've been the guy talking about him most that has to be able to step up, especially with a depleted rotation right now, what the Astros are going through. And he's really done that, honestly. He's really done a fabulous job ever since, I would say. What game would you think has been the turning point for Hunter Brown this year? Would it be the game away in Anaheim against the Angels?
I believe so. Let me look at his game log real quick.
Oh, but when you look at that real quick, I'm going to talk about this third game. 2 for 14 with runners in scoring position and 11 men on base, left on base. That's not going to win a lot of ball games. And luckily, the Astros were fortunate that Vaughn did make a couple of miscues, like Angel said, trying to catch the in between hop, but just couldn't get it done. And then pitching mistake is getting out, flexing out of the game and getting into that White Sox bullpen, which their bullpen has done a great job. You remember, like maybe 3 episodes ago, we had talked about save opportunities, even though it was not a save opportunity for them. They were up there, giving up a lot of runs. And sure enough, in this game, the Astros were able to get to that bullpen and put up some runs in the last couple of innings.
Yeah, and going back to your question, I would say, yeah, it would probably be the Angel series. He did get that loss there, but it was a 1-2 game. He only allowed 2 runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, but after that, he's been pretty phenomenal. Follows that up against Seattle, 9 strikeouts, no walks. Then Minnesota, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. Then let's do this again, 7 strikeouts, 4 walks, and then he has back-to-back starts without walking anybody. So they kind of finding that command has been crucial. So yes, that he kind of turned it around.
Yeah, it's been very impressive to see how Hunter Brown's have been, like you said, turning around this season for him, because in the beginning it kind of looked iffy. I know in the very beginning of the season, a lot of people had him as a most improved player of the year kind of candidate. And sure enough, as of right now, it's looking like he's taking over that candidacy and being able to put himself up there as one of the best to be improving in this season. But let's move on to, I would say, another guy that kind of, Brown follows up with and pitches the same way as this veteran pitcher, Justin Verlander. The day that we launched our episode, I want to say Tuesday, Justin Verlander did hit the IL before the Astros were able to play. They did announce on the 15-day IL he'll be there due to neck discomfort. They brought in right-handed pitcher Nick Hernandez, was recalled from AAA. So I honestly did not see this coming. I did not think an IL stint was in the future of Justin Verlander, but here we are. Obviously, it did the same thing to Christian Javier when we had talked about his injury in the very beginning of the season. But I don't know. Maybe it's these pillows that these guys are sleeping on the road. I don't know. He might need to call the My Pillow guy to get a new Tempur-Pedic pillow or something, man, because that's twice that Astros starting pitchers have now got hit with the neck discomfort bug. But according to Casey Drotter, he did subbed in for Brian McTaggart over in this series against the White Sox. On Monday, he had reported there was no timeline yet for Verlander's IL stint. The plan is to give him rest from throwing to see if he recovers. Tuesday does come along, and Justin Verlander did send a text from Joe Espada, and it said nothing that his neck was feeling better, but recovery time still a TBD, a to be determined kind of scenario for Justin Verlander. I don't know when would be the first day for him to come off the IL. I want to say after the Rocky series. Maybe what series is that? Is that the one when they traveled to Toronto?
When was the retrospect again?
It was on Saturday.
The 15th?
Correct. The 15th or the 16th was for Verlander, because that's when he missed his scheduled start
for July.
So I'm and then I want to say is that road trip against the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah,
that'd be this first.
Yeah, so he'll miss the Rocky series.
Yeah, which I think it's good for him, because nothing against the Colorado Rockies, but the Rockies aren't playing the best of baseball. Just think about that game against the Dodgers. I don't know if you saw that with that check swing on Teoscar Hernandez. Yeah, that was very brutal for them. But getting back on track, Jake Bloss is called up from Double-A. The Astros did announce that today. First reported by Ken Rosenthal and Chandler Rome. And obviously McTaggart did follow in and said Jake Bloss is called up from Double-A Corpus Christi. Set to start Friday's game against the Baltimore Orioles. Angel, that is one of the craziest starts you're going to have to start in your career against a team like the Orioles, how they've been playing. As of right now, I'm looking at the game, 12-5 against the Yankees in the middle of the 6th inning. And we'll talk about that preview here in a minute, but you're welcome to the show moment right there. Is going against a tough task, being against the Baltimore Orioles. I think Astros fans kind of had seen that coming for him if he was going to get that called up. Dana Brown did mention, too, he's not afraid to call up Jake Bloss. He was not afraid to call him up, and sure enough, he answered the call. He basically told him, hey, get this kid up here because we need a starter for Friday or Saturday's game. But, seeing all of this transpire, Angel, do you think it's a sense of urgency that the Astros are possibly going to look for a starting pitcher right now before the trade deadline because Verlander's out. You have some news with Luis Garcia coming back in a minute. Lance McCullers Jr. still continues to throw bullpens. Is there kind of a sense of urgency that the Astros might be looking for starting pitching before the trade deadline gets here?
I think there's been a sense of urgency for starting pitching since the beginning of the season. I would say, I think they've been looking for starting pitching, looking for pitching in general. That's why they picked up so many guys off waivers like Nick Hernandez and Eric Lar, and just guys like that, trying to recharge the arms up there. So kind of reload the arms. So I think so. I think in the trade deadline, they will look for somebody maybe a little closer to the trade deadline. They will look for somebody right now. They're just trying to wait and see what's going to happen with Luis Garcia. Especially, let's see how Jake Bloss is. You never know. He can be like Luis Garcia when he came up, right? Straight from Double A, Corpus Christi, kind of took the league by storm there. Again, and it can happen. It can be one of those starts where he comes in, pitches great. It can be another start where he does like Blair Haney and can get only one out. So it's just a wait and see type of game. But yes, to answer your question, I think there is some urgency with pitching, and not just now, but they've been looking for pitching um, for a while now this whole season. But again, having like the farm system the way it is, the money they owe the way it is. I mean, you gotta remember they just ate up to $30 million for Jose Abreu as well. So
Mhm.
I I think some hands might be tied a little bit of getting like a big name, but maybe you can loosen them up a little bit and get like a little not no name, but like a guy
A guy
that
that's not well known,
like that's not
like a
making too
spark
much
player.
noise.
Yeah.
Like not making too much noise, but just the right amount. Like the price could be right. So that's what I'm gonna say. But I mean, you can have to another cough in there. I was gonna say that when when Christian Javier and Jose Urquidy got hurt, Dana Brown did say that he was not afraid to move someone up from Double A, and there you go, Jake Bloss.
Yeah, I think it's an urgency for this Astros team to look for starting pitching. If Dana Brown continues to say that they're going to be buyers, I think they need to buy now before the trade deadline gets here because you're going to have a bunch of teams coming in, bringing pitching their prospects, pitching their players, and no secret, the Astros do not have a strong farm system. They really do not. Even Joshua even has it on the comments. The problem is they have no farm system. Agree. I mean, they don't have a strong farm system. I want to say they ranks like 28, 29 in Baseball America, even on MLB Pipeline. But you got prospects that are producing at the right time right now. Pedro Leon's been hitting the ball very well. Sean Whitcomb's another one, or Shea Whitcomb, I meant to say, is another guy that's been hitting the ball pretty well. Bryce Matthews just recently got promoted to Double A, which I don't think the Astros are gonna put him in a trade package. But I would say either a Leon or a Whitcomb kind of guy. Will Wagner's even hitting the ball pretty well too. I would say one of those guys you got to look at maybe putting into a package, maybe with one of these MLB ready now players like a Chas McCormick or a Jake Myers into a package right now to get a not a high star starting pitcher, like you're saying, like a well-known kind of guy, someone that's going to be sneaky, not like a Jesus Luzardo, and not someone that's going to be a like a Garrett Crochet, a guy I really think that the Astros maybe should target is a Braxton Garrett kind of guy, left-hander from Miami, and I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure there's more out there that are well unknown, but that are having great seasons. Jack Flaherty's another one that's been having a good season for the Tigers, but I would say the urgency is it's been since the Tommy John surgeries from Javier and Urquidy, but the urgency to get a trade going as of right now, it has to start now for these guys, I would say.
I was, I'm sure they're calling around,
Mhm.
kind of testing the water, see what's up there. But I think some of these selling teams might be kind of reluctant to make a deal now, like how you were saying, just because they know it's going to be a bidding war closer to the end of the trade deadline. So I'd say a deal is imminent. Yes, I think something will happen. Somebody will get traded. A move will be made. But I'm going to say a little bit later, uh, closer to the trade deadline, maybe early July or even late July, just because some teams are going to be like they might tell the Astros, "Hey, I like your offer, but what think about it?" And then just wait to see what another buyer does to see what else. Just kind of exploring their options there.
Mhm.
So it's just I guess it's just a waiting game and wait and see what happens.
Yeah, agree because I project maybe middle of July, maybe possibly a little bit beginning or just after the All Star break of July because the trade deadline is like 2 weeks after the All Star break. And I think that'd probably be kind of like where the Astros settled looking for a starting pitcher, I would say.
Yeah, but I mean, when the at the end of the day, the Astros did win the series. So usually when Astros win the series, it's a pretty jam packed kind of set, and that's what's going to be going on today.
Oh,
Uh,
last question. Last
oh,
question
go ahead,
before
go
you
ahead,
get
go
to the
ahead.
Carne Asada real quick. I have one little bit question for you. Do you feel confident for the Astros with a starting rotation of Justin Verlander, Framber Valdez, Spencer Arrighetti, Ronel Blanco, and we'll throw Jake Bloss as of right now, since the other two guys are still coming back from injury. Do you feel confident that the Astros can make a postseason run, a World Series run with that starting rotation as of now?
Well, the first four guys you mentioned, yes, I would say it gets kind of tricky at the end of the day. But if Ronel Blanco pitches the way he's been doing, if Hunter Brown continues this stretch, I think this could be a contending team. Because if you look at I think it can get them to the playoffs. They're in second place right now. Uh, they just jumped the Rangers. They're 8 games out of
8 games.
from Seattle. I think if they can win the division, they can make a run for the playoffs. If you think about it, in the playoffs you only have about 3 starters. Everybody else is in the bullpen. So you can have Justin Verlander, Framber Valdez, Ronel Blanco, or you can kind of swap them out with Hunter Brown, or even Spencer Arrighetti. But I think at that point is if you get in, like if they can somehow find a way to get in,
Mhm.
I'm pretty confident they can make a pretty big run in the postseason.
And that is with the rotation that the Astros have right now.
Yes.
You first heard it here, folks. Cantu, very confident in the Astros postseason run. But for me, I'm a little iffy still because Ronel Blanco is getting to that threshold of innings that he's never even reached. You got
He's
Hunter
already
Brown.
there.
Yeah, he's already there basically. Hunter Brown's another guy. Can he continue, like you said, can he continue this success throughout the whole season? Another guy, Spencer Arrighetti. He's shown some flashes of great starts, but then he struggled with a little bit of command here and there. He's also had a little struggle of some other starts as well. I mean, that's the big picture right there. You got two veterans, which Framber Valdez, you've seen Framber pitch really well, and then the next day he's working with command issues. Same thing as Justin Verlander. We've seen Verlander thrown 2 starts back to back with 4 walks in each start. So that's the part that I'm kind of iffy and going non-confident for the Astros if they were able to make a postseason run with this rotation.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be there's a lot of ifs, I guess you can
A
say
lot
this
of ifs,
season.
yes.
Very much.
Predicting, I guess you can say.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a professional ball club. At the end of the day, these guys are there for a reason. They have the ability, they have the talent. It's just being consistent, like you said.
Yeah, and Joshua agrees with you, dude. I think they can do it. And then he said, "This is a bold one right here. I think this is the beginning of the turnaround for this team. Could the White Sox series be the turnaround for the Astros going
Hey,
against a
could
hot
be,
team like the Baltimore Orioles right now?"
could be. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how Drake Gloss produces, but I mean, yeah, it could be.
Definitely.
I'm gonna change it up today for the canasada. Today, in honor of the Chicago series, they're gonna be making deep dish pizzas. I don't know. I don't know. Have you ever tried a deep dish pizza?
Dude, I was about to say, if you do Chicago dog, I'm gonna jump into this camera view and go after you because
I hate
Chicago
Chicago.
dogs. I hate them too. But deep dish, I dig. I dig the deep dish pizza in Chicago. When me and my wife had gone out there, I think it was called Giorgiano's or something like that. I don't have the name right in front of me, but they make a good meat lovers, my man. If you go out to, if anybody goes to Chicago, make sure you hit that restaurant up. Meat lovers pizza deep dish, one of the best.
I I've also seen like a deep dish pizza where it has like, the toppings on top, but
Mhm.
inside has like pasta or like some sauce inside the pizza. Like is that how it was when you tried in Chicago?
It was like basically a tomato sauce. It wasn't nothing
Okay.
really too much. It was just a lot of dough, I would say.
Yeah,
That's all it
absolutely.
was.
When I stayed in Dallas, there was this place called something Chicago, like it's in Chicago, and they had deep dish pizza, and I mean that's the closest I've gotten, but it was pretty good now. Man. So
Okay. The next question though is, are you a deep dish guy or are you a New York style guy?
you know what? I can't discriminate on pizza. I love pizza. I
Okay,
don't mind putting it in.
but if you had to pick one, if they put two pieces of pizza in front of you and they put a New York thin slice or a deep dish Chicago, which one are you taking?
I'm gonna go with the New York.
Okay, you see, I agree with you. I love thin. I don't got nothing against deep dish, but thin pizza is my thing.
Yeah, especially
Crispy.
yeah, there you go, thin and
There it
crispy
is.
pizza.
Oh man.
That's that's the laugh right there. But
Mhm.
100 Brown's gonna get this pizza started with putting it in a little Dutch oven or those iron ovens outside when you make pizza. He's gonna be start hosting the Carne Asada. He used six innings, 7 hits, one and run, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. Again, like we said earlier, it was his what, 6 quality start in a row. So he's been
Definitely.
kind of leading the charge with Ronaldo Blanco there. Picked it up for sure, and it was much needed for the Astros if they do want to contend. This is 100 Brown they need to be seeing. Who's going to be bringing the toppings? Some meat lover toppings to be Cesar Salazar. No, sorry, I didn't be bringing the Caesar salads. Never mind. Caesar salad, Caesar Salazar.
I saw what
Yeah,
you did there.
yeah. I wasn't thinking that one, but Caesar Saladar's bringing the Caesar salad, 2 for 2, 2 RBIs. And this season, I mean, he very limited playing time for him. But when he's come up big. Overall this season, he's 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs. I guess he can have the clutch gene for Caesar Salazar as well.
Hmm.
Who's been bringing the toppings to be Alex Bregman, six 6 for 13 this series with 1 run, a batting average 2.7 for the year. Who's there being the tomato sauce or whatever, or even like, have you ever tried a chicken Alfredo pizza with the white sauce?
Never.
No, pretty good,
Nope.
pretty good. But they're bringing both kinds of sauce to be Josh Hader. His first save two saves in a series this year. It happened in game 2. He pitched 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Obviously got the save. And in game 3, no 1 innings pitched, no hits, and 2 strikeouts. He's had saves in back-to-back days before, but it was against 2 different teams. It was the last game in New York and then the first game against Detroit. But now this, again, like I said earlier, just right now, this is the first series this year that he's had 2 saves in a series. So pretty big stuff, and he looks back. He looks like his stuff is
Yeah.
very different. He's commanding the top of the zone, commanding this like the low and the way, part of the portion of the zone too. So like his commands there, pitches are nasty as well. So pretty good there. And then who's gonna be eating it all? Jordan Alvarez, 3 for 5, 1 home run, and 2 RBIs. He did play only 1 game because of personal issues. I'm glad. I mean, we hope everything's okay with him there. Wish him and his family all the best. But he came hungry and he came ready to play. And the Astros might have lost this game if it wasn't because of Jordan Alvarez.
Dude, I mean, his first at bat, he just launches one.
Yeah.
Like just like nothing. Just first at bat, flick of the wrist into the stands and right. But yeah, Josh Hader, I mean, the bullpen itself too has done a phenomenal job. I think they're ranked second in a certain day in ERA behind the Cleveland Guardians. Like they've been
Oh,
pitching
wow.
really good, and that goes to that you commend, Taylor Scott, Seth Martinez, Rafael Montero having a little bit iffy, bullpen release. Brian Abreu's look better. Ryan Presley's look a little bit better. So, commend the bullpen how they've been pitching and helping out the rotation for like example for today. Taylor Scott came in for Spencer Arrighetti, did a great job in an inning and 2/3, I want to say. So I honestly think Taylor Scott might have a shot of being in the All-Star game this year too.
Yeah. So they can even Seth Martinez as well.
Yeah. I think Taylor Scott has like a 1-something ERA. Let me see if I can find it real quick because I'm looking through it. A 177 ERA for Taylor Scott. So he's been looking good. Seth Martinez has a 217.
217. Yeah, I just looked it up right now. 217.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean,
What a save.
with the save. With the save. But yeah, shout out to the Astros bullpen. They've been doing a great job as of late because in the beginning of the season, you remember, all hell kind of broke loose. The Astros couldn't find a way to close out a game, couldn't figure out how to keep the lead for the offense. But as of right now, as of late too, I mean, they've been doing a great job for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been, again, maybe what Petrus did say could be the turning point of the season.
Yeah, he even answered another thing from you. He loves some pizza as well. I don't mind pizza. I just gotta have a crave for pizza at a time. I'm not a big pasta kind of guy.
No,
Not a big pasta guy. Mm-mm.
wait till they
I
find
thought,
out. Like, wait
I
till the
thought,
audience find. Go ahead.
no, real quick. I thought you were gonna put like fajita on the pizza for Cesar Salazar. I thought he was gonna
Hey,
bring some kind of Mexican dish on that one.
there is a pizza. I think Pizza Patron does have like a fajita pizza.
You know, you could pay in pesos at
Can
Pizza
you in there?
Patron. Yes.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
I mean, I don't eat Pizza Patron, but I've heard you can
Yeah.
pay in
Oh my God.
pesos. At least back then, how it used to be back then. But yeah, I'm not a big pizza guy, but glad y'all are some pizza fanatics. But no one wants to talk about pizza because we want to talk about this pitching preview against the Baltimore Orioles. They are 48 and 25. They'll be moving to 49 and 25 in a minute. There are 14 and 5 against the New York Yankees at the top of the seventh. As of right now, the Yankees lead the American League with a 51-25 record, but the Orioles are right behind them with 49 wins after this game today. They are 7 and 3 in their last 10 games. Well, and that switches to 8 and 2 after this win. Second, the AL East, like I said. They are second in the American League, too, dude, in runs scored with 373. So this team could swing it. Gunnar Henderson, Ali Rutschman, Anthony Santander has been another guy that's been hitting the ball. Ryan Mountcastle. You can go through on the list for these guys, how they've been hitting for them. And for sure, they got a lot of prospects coming up soon, thanks to Mike Elias and Sigma Dale over there in that front office for the Orioles, who used to be in the front office of the Astros organization.
Okay.
So this should be a fun matchup to see how
Okay.
the
Interesting.
Astros perform.
Uh,
Very interesting.
You know, like it's gonna be a like kind of how I'm really looking forward to see Jake Bloss throw against
I am too.
making your major league debut against the Baltimore Orioles. Like you just read those stats, like basically high powered off, and Santander's having a great season. You got Ali Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson's having a really great season too. So, but you sometimes forget that guys like Gunnar Henderson were like in the minors not too long ago too. So maybe kind of having that edge there, but it'll be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah, let's start off with that because you said it. Guys have seen some of these hitters and pitchers, and Grayson Rodriguez was just in the minors maybe a couple, not last year, but maybe the year before. After that, I want to say in 2022 he made his debut. I could be wrong, but Friday, let's start off with that game. Friday Night Lights, of course. Michelob Ultra Club is going to be popping over there in that patio, so make sure to get there on time. $5 drafts, of course. That you got to take advantage. You got to take advantage after a long day of work. But 7:10 start time. You got Grayson Rodriguez for the Orioles, 8-2 record with a 3.20 ERA. He'll be going against, like you said, the man, Jake Bloss, 0.0 ERA. Making his major league debut. Real quick, we'll give the scoop on Rodriguez. His last start versus the Phillies, 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. His last start versus Houston, that was last year at Baltimore, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. I feel like Rodriguez has grown into a hard throwing selective starter for the Orioles this year. He looks like he's matured from spring training onto now. So he's looked really phenomenal for the O's pitching staff, but in the month of June, it just continues to get better for him. 3-0 record as of right now with a 2.33 ERA. He's only given up 5 earned runs in them 3 starts, with only giving up 2 walks and a 0.93 whip. So that tells you a lot how this kid has been pitching. His command's been there, not giving up a lot of walks, giving up a lot of weak contact, not giving up a lot of earned runs. So Rodriguez has been the guy for the O's that's done a phenomenal job. And then not just that, we got to throw the cons in for him as well. He struggles on the road, surprisingly. On in home, he has like a 2 ERA. On the road, that's a 4.28 ERA. He does have a 4.1 record, but he does give up a lot of runs on the road. 16 earned runs. His BABIP not the best, 3.26, and does give up a little bit more of the long ball on the road with a 107 home run per 9 innings ratio. You go back and you throw that at Camden Yards, he only given up a 0.74 home run to 9 innings ratio. So it should be a good matchup for this guy against the Astros as well. Let's talk a little bit about Jake Bloss, dude, because I had to dig up a little bit about him. I wanted to know the personal part of Jake Bloss real quick. He graduated early from the University of Louisiana Lafayette. So all the all raging Cajun fans out there, he graduated there with a double major Angel in math and economics. I could have used him in college when I needed him because my math and my eco statistics, all of that over there at A&M, my gosh, I was suffering really bad.
I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
But I did get a B in the class, so I was able to survive. So he's like, okay, I got my double major already, my bachelor's. Let's go transfer to Georgetown and let's go work on my master's. So he works on his master's degree in economics at Georgetown in 2023. And he's like, you know what? Might as well just continue playing baseball. I still have a little bit eligibility. Let's play some baseball. He goes out there and wins Big East Conference Pitcher of the Year. The brains and the arm, I would say, for this kid. I mean, he's done a really good job. The Astros did draft him in the third round with a 99 pick in the 23 draft. He's been the highest draft pick in Georgetown Hoyas history. So that shows a lot that the kid has the brains and he has the arm to throw. Against a team like this, like the Orioles, like you said, it's going to be a tough first challenge. But if there's a kid that could do it, it is Jake Bloss. He is the Astros number 10 prospect. Like we talked about, he jumped from the Double A Corpus Christi Hooks to the majors already in 8 games with the Hooks. He has a 3-1 record with a 161 ERA, 35 strikeouts, and a 127 opponent batting average. Hasn't pitched since Sunday of June 16. That game and that outing, Angel, he helped conduct the Hooks throw their first no-hitter in franchise history. That's how electric this kid's stuff is. The arsenal on him real quick, forcing fastball, slider, curveball, and a changeup. So this kid, I mean, I gave you a lot of information about him, personal and professional on the baseball terms. I think he has a great shot of showing this Orioles team that he's capable of being in the majors, not for the Astros and not trying to prove Dana Brown, just showing that confidence that he's able to pitch at the next level.
Yeah, and like you said, he was drafted last year, so it's kind of the trend we've been seeing of guys who are play college ball and are kind of like so close to being major league ready. So it'll be interesting to see. Some of these guys have had success about it right away, like Ben Joyce, Ali Rutschman's another one, Zach Neto with the Angels as well, Gunnar Henderson as well. So again, like these guys are coming in major league ready, and hopefully Jake Bloss can continue that role that those other guys are on for the Astros.
Yeah, I mean, the Astros have done a great job bringing prospects up. Hunter Brown, JP France. Even though they did pitch in AAA, another guy from the AA mark would be Luis Garcia, that 2020 year. He only pitched in AA, never pitched in AAA, brought him up in 20, and he helped the Astros kind of almost make to the World Series.
Okay, I mean, maybe I'm interested to see how it goes. I know both of us will be there watching that start closely, so we'll get back to what we saw.
Yeah, so the kid's gonna have the rock, and I'm pretty sure he's looking at the scouting reports already, trying to see how the Orioles hitters look at the plate. Maybe they have different types of schemes they go through, but I mean, the kid has the brains, so of course he's going to be on the mound doing his research, just like the O's are going to do theirs. But Saturday start time 3:10 for the Astros and Orioles. This is going to be a great matchup, I would have to say. Probably this is the matchup that you're probably going to want to tune in and sit back, relax, drink maybe a cold one, and enjoy this one because you got Corbin Burnes for the Orioles, Cy Young Award winner, 8.2 record with a 2.14 ERA. He'll be going against Ronel Blanco with a 7.2, 2.43 ERA. And Corbin Burnes really doesn't need no introduction. He's probably one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. He did transition from the National League to the American League, and he hasn't skipped a beat. Last start versus the Phillies, 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. His last start versus the Astros, Angel, Astros did a really great job jumping on him. 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. When he was with the Brewers, he did give up 4 home runs. The first 2 shocked me, and you won't even guess who the first 2 were that got on him.
Ooh. Last time he told me that was Martin Maldonado, so I'll give you that.
So Martin Maldonado is on that list. Corey Julks is the other one that got on him. The first 2 home runs came off of them too. Then Mauricio Dubon and Yordan Alvarez joined the party. So 2 of them are not here, but 2 of them are, and most likely will probably be in the lineup against Corbin Burnes. But I think this has been one of the best additions the Orioles have ever done. I think it was an equal trade from Joey Ortiz, like the last episode we talked about, with Joey Ortiz going to the O's and Corbin Burnes going to the Baltimore Orioles. So I think it's been a very even trade as of right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, you really can't say nothing about Corbin Burnes because he's been one of the most dominant pitchers in Major League Baseball. As of right now, 3.0 record with a 1.35 ERA. He has a 2.11 opponent batting average with a 1.00 whip. That's how good the kid is. Last 3 starts in 20 innings pitched, he's only given up 3 earned runs and strike out 18 batters. especially going against a team like the Philadelphia Phillies, who has one of the best records in baseball and probably one of the best lineups, I would say, in baseball too. So
Yeah.
just shows how dominant he is. And away from Camden Yards against left-handed hitters, which you're probably going to see Yordan Alvarez be in the lineup. I'm interested to see if Joe Espada is going to use John Singleton in this role because against left-handed hitters, he's pretty damn dominant. 17 innings and 2/3. He's only given up 5 hits, 1 earned run, 6 walks, and a 0.86 opponent batting average to left-handed hitters. So
Is
that's
that all? Is that all season?
that just is away from Camden Yards, and that is this season.
Yikes! Yikes!
So if I'm Joe Espada, I might be looking towards maybe adding a right-handed hitter.
Marissa Dubon.
You're maybe looking at Mauricio Dubon, probably maybe get a start at first at this one against Corbin Burns because reading that stat against left-handed hitters, that is not pretty. But if anybody could do it, I think Yordan Alvarez could be that guy to kind of destroy that stat. And just to testify how good Corbin Burns has been really this season, I mean, go check out Baseball Savant. A lot of red categories, a lot of 99 to 95 percentiles. Pitching run value got a 19. That is the best. I mean, off speed run value 95. I mean, dude, like I said, I'm not going to read my voice over these percentiles. Just go to Baseball Savant, type in Corbin Burns, and you're going to see a lot of red categories. That's how dominant he has been for the Orioles, and what a great addition he's been for Birdland.
Yeah, I mean, he's been producing as advertised for them. That's why they went out to go get him.
And I think he might be a free agent either this coming year or the next season. So they're more than likely they're going to be extending his contract pretty soon.
I think so. They have the money for it.
Oh, definitely. With the new ownership that they have over there, too. I think it's going to be great for them. But Ronel Blanco is another guy that, too, has been doing a great job in the American League. And his last start versus the Detroit Tigers, he had a no-hitter going. 7 innings, no hits, no earned runs, only had 3 walks and 8 strikeouts. This month of June, Angel, he has a 127 opponent batting average. That is pretty damn good. That's almost at 1. Low 1 opponent batting average. That is pretty damn good. As well as the whip, 0.75 whip. But if you look at his last start, what's been really dealing for him was his changeup. El Cambio, Angel, located very well, low in the zone. It was telling it that low middle part of the zone, but just had that downward movement and chased a lot of batters getting that swing in that lower part of the zone. I think that's been the change has been a great addition to his arsenal ever since getting that pitch in spring training.
Yeah, that slider changeup combo is going to be very crucial for this series against Baltimore Orioles because they like to take advantage of mistakes. You saw what happened to Luis Gil today. Put up 6 runs in like the first 2 innings. And Luis Gil has been phenomenal for this for the Yankees. So hitting your spots, hitting those locations there is going to be pretty crucial for you for no problem.
Yeah, I mean, this, like I said, this is probably one of the matchups you want to tune in on TV, or if you're at the ballpark, I would take advantage of it because that is a good pitching duel. And these two guys could be potentially going to the American League All-Star, not American League, but the MLB All-Star game in Arlington, representing the American League. So tune into that matchup. But Sunday to finish it off, 1:10 start time, you got Albert Suarez with a 3.1 record with a 2.05 ERA. He'll be going against Framber Valdez with a 5.5 record, 3.91 ERA. And Albert Suarez, I was looking into his stats. He made his major league debut in 2016. He's only played in the majors in 3 times, 2016, 2017, and hasn't played since then. 2024, he does make his MLB debut since 17. So, yeah, like Angel said, it's a great story. But it wasn't pretty for his last start against the Yankees. 3 2/3 of an inning, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. The thing with him, and we've been seeing that trend, like Angel said, throughout Major League Baseball, had 2 starts in April, was later then moved to the bullpen, and then brought back as a starter in late May. He started again for the O's. I think he's going to be starting more and more games since Kyle Bradish has been announced with Tommy John surgery and is out for the rest of the season. So then more than likely you're going to see this kid as a starter. But he's done a really great job as, that guy being a starting pitcher. 2-1 record with a 2.35 ERA. 9 pitching run value. That is the 88th percentile. 4 all-speed run value as well. 93rd percentile on Baseball Savant. But the only way you're going to get to him is getting him behind the count. If you could get him behind a count like 3-0, 3-1, 2-0, any type of hitter's count against this guy, he doesn't really give that much he doesn't really pitch a lot of balls. He does throw a lot of strikes down the middle of the zone with his four seamer. So I really suggest if the Astros hitters are going to get him behind the count, even on a 3-0, I'd give the Astros a green light like Jose Altuve, Jordan Alvarez, even Alex Bregman. I'd give him that green light. I would trust them in that situation to be able to make, something happen behind the count.
Yeah, and I mean, great story. Like you said, it'll be I think this will be the first time the Astros see him probably
Yeah.
in their career. So I mean, you saw how they struggled with Cannon this series, first time seeing him. So you got to adjust to the film room, but I think the Astros have a good chance against this guy.
Yeah, especially when this guy throws a heavy dose of his four seamer. I mean, four seamers 53.1% of the time you're going to see that. The next best pitch after that is a cutter, and that is 23.1% of the time. So his four seamer is not very fast. The velocity is not really up there. It's like about average, about 92 to 93, just like a regular MLB average fastball. So I would say if you're the Astros, you take advantage of being behind the count and make him throw that four seamer as much as he can. But Lagras, on the other hand, last started against the White Sox, 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. That is a quality start in the books. But like Angel said in the beginning of the show, that 5 walks, I mean, that came back to bite him in the butt, giving up them 2 earned runs. And that was more than enough for the White Sox to win game one of that series. But his last start against the Orioles, too, it wasn't pretty. 7 innings, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. He had home runs by Adley Rutschman and Ryan Mountcastle, which those guys, I want to say, lead in the All-Star voting as of right now. But
That's about right.
those guys are All-Star potential as well. But simple as that, I can say for Framber Valdez, get the ground ball. Locate your sinker as much as you can. Get the ground ball because you do have that percentage up there, one of the best percentiles in Baseball Savant. So that's the recipe for success for Valdez. It's kind of easy said than done, but that's been his success through his career, was getting that ground ball.
No, yeah, absolutely. When he's on fire, when he's on, it's because he's locating both his curveball and his sinker. And then when he's getting hurt, command's not there. It's just because of location. Look what it is. I think what happens is he gets too much in his head. He's trying to be a little too fine with his pitches and ends up either overthrowing or kind of underthrowing the pitch. I think if he can, it's going to be. I think the Astros had a chance to win against the White Sox, even though Framber Valdez was off because it was like a 2-1 game. But against the Baltimore Orioles, it's two different ball clubs. White Sox are struggling. O's are hot. They will take advantage of those mislocations. So I think this could get ugly pretty quick if Framber Valdez is not locating his pitches.
Yeah, you're talking about two different breeds. We're talking about the White Sox that are probably a Yorkie or a Chihuahua, and the Orioles that are like.
He just calls it White Sox. I mean,
you're gonna tell me that's not right though? Are you not gonna tell me that's not right? It's like the White Sox or a Chihuahua or a Yorkie compared to a dog like the Orioles, who have 300 something runs scored, second best in the American League. You're talking about a Doberman and Pit Bull up there. Two different breeds. Come on now. Come on. Don't even give me that, dude.
You better hope no White Sox guy hears you calling him Chihuahua. They're gonna have your face in the clubhouse. Not allowed in his clubhouse. And I want to talk to you.
Well, if there's any White Sox fans on this podcast, I'd be very shocked. But one comment, great show, guys. As always, bring on the Blitz podcast. If y'all don't follow these guys, they are going to be giving out the Houston Texans content for this upcoming season. They have great shows. Highly suggest to subscribe to their channel and give them a follow on Twitter. If you haven't done that so far, I highly suggest it because they're going to be giving out great content, not just on the Texans, but in the National Football League as well.
Speaking of football, I don't know if you saw the Astros are going to be giving an Andre Johnson bobblehead for with his golden jacket for being the first Texans receiver in the Hall of Fame. So that should be a pretty good crowd for that one.
Yeah. You see, he agrees with me. Joshua agrees with me. They are two different breeds, and you know in the bottom of your heart they are two different breeds. Don't even give me that, dude.
No, that's fine. Just say that. You don't have to call him a Chihuahua. You know?
I'm just giving out examples. That's all I'm doing.
But all right, let's move on to the train station because let's leave these people go home happy. Yeah, I know it's been 54 minutes already. But I guess the guy everybody wants to hear from is Kyle Tucker. This is per Casey daughter, like Lorenzo said he was taking over for. Brian Tucker over there in the south side of Chicago. But on Monday, Tucker is still ramping up in the weight room, but not yet ready to resume baseball activities. And then on Tuesday, Tucker is still walking with quite a noticeable limp as he recovers from the shin contusion. Now, I know that ball hit him hard. You saw the hot mic, you saw the reaction, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad.
How long
I,
has it been now?
it's been like it's about to be almost
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, so yeah, almost about 2 weeks. And usually when you get when you follow a pitch off your leg, yes, it hurts. Like like I think we've both been there. But never this bad. So I know it's a shin contusion. I know it takes time to heal, but it's crazy that he hasn't resumed baseball activities. It might be a little bit a deep bruise there for sure.
Yeah, the last time was June 3rd. That was the last time he saw action.
Yeah, but Trash helps us out there, so shout out to him there. But uh, Victor Cancino again also got hurt. He's getting his left quad. It was a left quad injury looked at by team doctors. Espada also noted that an IL stint is a possibility, so there's maybe a chance that you might be seeing a little bit more Cesar Salazar up there, and it kind of like I don't know, kind of puts a little bit more pressure on Yanni Diaz as well because the reason why he didn't catch after Cancino gets injured is because he was DH, kind of saved the legs a little bit, but now I, I'm sure Cesar Salazar will get it started too, but it's going to be mostly Yanni Diaz behind the plate there. So, like, I think his offensive production needs to be pretty big because you really have no one after you. If you need a day off to rest your head, I think it has to be kind of control that aspect of the game there.
Yeah, don't forget about his thumb. I think that's been another reason why he hasn't been.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the flexibility in his thumb, the range of motion's still not there for him.
Yeah, so Cesar Salazar might be coming in huge once again with this pitching staff and even at the plate, but Luis Garcia is also throwing a little bit more. He threw a live open session on Sunday, 25 to 30 pitches. And then let's finish off with a good note. I know some of these injury news can be kind of like upsetting or, kind of give you a little nerve wracking. But shout out to the AAA team, the Sugarland Space Cowboys, who are Pacific Coast first half champs. They are going to the PCL finals for the first time in franchise history. I think they will also host, right? The finals. Yeah. So shout out to them. And it's crazy though, because everybody talks about how depleted the farm system for the Astros is, and look what the minor leagues doing over there. So that just shows the amount of potential and the quality of players these Astros are drafting, their analytics team, finding the basically diamonds in the rough a little bit, because I mean they did lose 2 draft picks a few years ago, and then when you win baseball games and you go to the World Series and the ALCS quite often like they do, you're not picking those first 10 rounds in the first first 10 picks in the first round. So it's just kind of working with what they have. And yeah, I mean that's pretty impressive by them.
I didn't even know there was such a thing as first half champs.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I never heard of that in my life.
The only reason I know that is because of Road to the Show. I don't know if you're
nope.
There you go. No, you never played Road to the Show where you had.
I mean, I played Road to the Show, but I'm already shot up to the big leagues, baby. I shot up there.
Well, I guess you never experienced winning the PCL finals in your first year as a rookie, but
it's all right. Hey, on Road to the Show, I already got the ring.
But moving on to Round the Horn, like Lorenzo said, a big, amazing thing happening today in the major leagues. I think it's happening right now. It's about to be 6:00. Yeah, I think it's happening now. Rickwood Field game between the St. Louis Cardinals and San Francisco Giants. Like Lorenzo said earlier, it's a big thing because that's where the Birmingham Barons played in the Negro Leagues, and just kind of honor that series. We just saw this year that the Negro League stats are included in the Baseball Reference and like in the history books, and now you get to honor Willie Mays and honor all these guys like Jackie Robinson, and I know I'm missing a lot of players that playing in the Negro Leagues and now brought basically are the stepping stone to making this game more international, welcoming for everybody. So I'm sure they had to deal with a lot of stuff. I'm sure it was not everybody was happy about the move, but it was a great move by baseball, and to be in honor, it's always amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Grimace era is over, unfortunately. I know the Mets were really hoping they would go 100-0 after this, like after the grimace is going, but that is not the case. The Mets lost their first game Wednesday since June 12th. Shout out to the grimace era. It was a it was a great one.
Is it an ARP IP kind of thing, or do you think they're going to continue running it on?
I think. I mean, it's baseball.
I think even the McDonald's Twitter page, I want to say, put the
What's
grimace
rolling with
as
it?
their profile picture with
It's
the
funny.
Mets hat.
I guess it worked because I had McDonald's like 2 days ago, so not happy about that one.
You think the Mets, not the Mets, you think McDonald's is going to celebrate the era with grimace shakes?
Bring those back.
Yeah,
Did
bring
they
them
have a
back.
grimace shape? Yeah,
I think they do.
I want to be surprised. I'd be surprised.
Celebrate that what? How much? How many days? Basically, almost a week kind of run.
A week of winning. Yeah.
Yeah, Leota Taveras had to break all the grimaces hard, hitting that 2-run shot to take the lead for the Rangers. But yeah, I mean that's the end of our show. Real quick to look at the standings just to make sure everything is up to par. Like Angel said, the Astros did pass up the Rangers. Seattle's 44-33. The Astros are 35-40. The Rangers are 34-40. So the Astros did pass them up, and the Astros are in second place of the AL West with 8 games back. That's going to be kind of a deep one to kind of run on, but it's possible. Like Angel said, I mean, this starting rotation apparently to him is could be able to go to the postseason. It can do it. It can have a big run basically, which I'm not having no doubts that the Astros can, but it can happen. You never know. That's the beauty of this game.
Really?
Literally. But that is the end of our show. Like I said, an hour and 1 minute in the books for these. I mean, we had a great crowd, like we always say. Episode 189, Astros Iron the White Sox. We appreciate everybody taking their time, being able to watch this. I know, shoot, at least people in Houston are trying to get back home in this rush hour traffic on Thursday because Friday is almost here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because usually the late shows we have a pretty good crowd. This is an early one. It's still a great crowd, though.
yeah, shout out to all of y'all being able to hear us talk baseball, talk about the Astros, give the updates and all that stuff. We really appreciate y'all taking y'all time out y'all day to listen to us. But if y'all haven't even done so already, make sure you go give us a follow at Twitter, on X, whatever you want to call that app. Full Steam Ahead on Instagram. We're doing them reels. We're doing our content as much as we can. TikTok as well, interviewing players like Spencer Arrighetti. Shout out to him for letting us talk to him about his improving his starts and getting that confidence going. So make sure you don't miss that. Make sure you hit that follow, like this video on YouTube, subscribe to our channel as well because this is fairly new and we're still continuing to boost it up as much as possible. And if anything, we might be throwing a giveaway pretty soon because June is almost ending. We like to give away at least once a month. So make sure you tune out your eyes out there. But Angel, you got anything before we sign off?
No, just thank you for listening again. Thank you for the amazing crowd, and we appreciate you all your feedback, all your subscribes, all your likes, follows, and thank you.
Bring on the blitz one more time. Great show, guys, like always. And then, of course, Josh, sticking it to the end, like always, with us. Appreciate you being a true supporter, just like everybody else on this channel. But until then, y'all have a safe weekend. Enjoy some baseball. Oh, we forgot to talk about our Aggies, dude. College World Series for the first time in school history. So shout out to the Ags out there being able
Shout
to
out.
yeah, represent the alum out here in Houston. We'll hold it down in here. They'll hold it down over there at Omaha, Nebraska, playing for a natty for the first time in school
What do you
history.
think? Aggies in 2 or Aggies in 3?
And this is gonna be a tough one against Tennessee, man. And you're talking about two powerhouses.
Big dogfight.
Yeah, and we're not gonna be talking about breeds no more, apparently, to Angel. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. I wouldn't be surprised to be in 3, honestly. Ags in 3. I mean, the pitching staff's been doing great in 2, but I'm not surprised if he'll be in 3.
You see Prager's dominant performance had a no-hitter to at the 7th inning. Bounced back
Just,
because against Oregon he looked terrible.
yeah, but I mean, he's bounced back at the College World Series. And Joshua to finish it off, gig 'em Aggies.
Thinking
Gigs. Yep. T's and G's, but we'll talk to y'all. Have a safe weekend. Be blessed and continue to watch baseball.
Peace.